Hey guys, so today we're checking out the Red Rock 4x4 Predator Grill with amber LEDs fitting all 2018 and newer JL Wranglers. So if you are a fan of the Angry Eye look and you're looking for a grill that's going to completely switch up the aesthetic of the front end of your JL while also adding a little bit of functionality in the meantime, this option by Red Rock 4x4 is going to be a great choice to take a look into. Now, as you can tell right off the bat, this is going to have that Angry Eye aggressive dynamic look to it that you may be looking to add to the front end of your JL. We have an angular cut right up at the top. There is going to be a cutout in the brow in the middle. That's for the amber LEDs. Then we're going to have an angular look down at the bottom with multiple slots. Now, what I do really like about that is the fact that it's going to have a honeycomb insert in each of the slots there. That's going to provide a little bit of extra protection to the components behind your grill and add it to that dynamic look. Now, the notable thing about this grill is the fact that it's going to come with 3 LED amber lights right up at the top. That's going to add some additional styling and make you more noticeable while you're driving around on the street. Now, these will be run into the daytime running light, so whenever your running lights are on, these will actuate as well. So again, that adds a nice touch of styling to the front end, which is going to switch it up and make it look a little bit more different than some of the other Angry Eye grills available in the category or on the page there. Now, with all that being said, this is going to come in at roughly $250, putting this at a pretty affordable price point for what you're getting. Now, other options available on the page, like I said, some will have lighting. They may not be set up exactly like these lights. They may have an LED light bar or smaller accents instead of these amber accents right up at the top. And then some other options won't have any lighting at all. They're just gonna have a standard grill. So overall, I think if you're looking for that Angry Eye look, you're looking for something a little bit more custom and dynamic to the front end, but you are a fan of that amber style accent lighting, then this is gonna be a great choice. Now, when it comes to install, I'm gonna give this a very easy 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. There is a little bit of wiring involved, however, it is very simple, so you are gonna need some pretty basic hand tools at about 2 hours worth of your time. So speaking of that install, let's jump into that now. The tools that I used for my install were an electric ratchet, a pair of pliers, a wire tool, trim removal tool, a Phillips head screwdriver, an 8mm socket, and a 7mm wrench. So the first step to taking off our grill is to pop our hood, and then we can pop off the 6 clips that are holding it in. I'm going to be using a trim removal tool for this. So what we can do is just pop out these clips. So after all the clips are taken out, what we can do is pull up on the corners on each side and pull the grill forward. And then as you can see, it is held in still by a couple of retainer clips. We're just gonna give it a good pull forward. Right, we can put this to the side. So we will have to swap over a few things from our factory grill in order to get our new grill attached. That is going to include our retainer clips down at the bottom. We are going to transfer over this plastic trim piece to allow us to attach the grill to the Jeep. And then we are also going to be transferring over this weather stripping up at the top. So I'm going to start by removing the weather stripping. For this, you're going to need a trim removal tool. You can use the one that we used before, but you just pull up on the stripping and just pop it right out of place. So before we jump into the install of our new grill, I did want to stop down and show you guys a little comparison between the new grill and our factory one, show you some of the similarities and differences and why this is going to be a big upgrade for your JL. Now starting off is just a brief overview of our factory grill. This is going to be made out of a plastic material. This is also going to have a painted look to it, as you guys are probably familiar with. We're going to have those traditional 7 slots. Some of the models are going to have the insert look, or the factory grill insert, as well as a protective insert on the back here. So overall, it's going to give you the stock styling, and some other options may give you a little bit of protection. Just depends on your trim model. Now moving over to this new choice, this is going to give you a way better look as far as an aggressive look goes and a dynamic look is concerned. Now this is going to have an angry brow up at the top, a very angular design, especially in the middle here, and it's going to have a honeycomb insert design as well, and 2 little windows on the side. Now that's going to open up airflow. It's also going to give you some protection and again help you out with that additional styling. Now this is going to be made of an ABS plastic material. It is going to be more durable than the factory plastics here, and it will be paintable. So if you are looking to paint match it to your factory color code, you can do that, or you can keep it the matte black look that you see here. Now what I do really like about this and what sets it apart from all the other options is the fact that this is going to come with 3 LED amber lights right up at the top. Now you can wire those into your daytime running light, or really wherever you like to run those into, and they're going to add some extra styling while also making you more noticeable while driving around on the street. They are going to be pretty light for a light that is on the grill, because they are LED, and the LEDs are going to last an incredibly long time because of that LED technology. So overall, this is going to be a big upgrade in style, and it's also going to give you a little bit of performance in the meantime. So what do you say we go ahead and install it on our Wrangler? So now that we have the weather stripping off of our old grill, what we can do is attach the header portion that we are going to use to attach our grill to the Jeep. We're going to attach this to our grill. So this is going to lay on the back here. There are going to be little pins that you need to line up. And then we can take our provided hardware and secure that in there. Now that will be the Phillips head bolt and the flange nut. Now in order to get them threaded in, you may need to use a Phillips head screwdriver. So once you have all of those threaded on, what we can do is take that Phillips head screwdriver and a 7mm wrench and just snug them all up. What we can do next is install the factory weather stripping. Now this is just going to pop right into place with those little clips. After those are in, we can attach the retainers down at the bottom, and we'll be ready to install our grill on our Jeep. Then we can just add our retainer clips down at the bottom by simply pressing them on. So what we can do now is attach our grill. Now you will want to route the wires first because we will be doing this in just a second. I'm just gonna put these over to the side here. We will be running it into that turn signal light. So I'm just gonna tuck this over and around the headlight here. And then once, we can just pull that tight because we'll tuck up the excess in just a moment. And then once that is out of the way, what we can do is line up the retainers down at the bottom, give it a good push. And then we can take our factory hardware and we can secure the top of the grill. So our next step is to wire in our running lights for our grill. Now again, we're gonna wire it into our turn signal right here, but in order to access that wiring harness, we need to peel back our inner fender liner. There's gonna be a clip on the outer left-hand side, and there's also gonna be a clip in the on the inside there. I'm just gonna use a trim removal tool to remove both. So after we remove that clip, what we can do is remove the two 8mm screws that are holding in the front part of our inner liner here. Once that's off, we can peel it back. So now that we peeled our inner liner back, what we can do is find the wires that we need to wire our running light for our grill into. Now the white wire with the brown trace all the way on the right hand side on the LED JLs is going to be our running light for this turn signal here, and then we're going to utilize the black on the opposite side as well. Maybe a little bit different on the halogen Wranglers. But if you just take a voltage meter, turn the running lights on, and hit these couple of wires, you should be able to identify which one is the running light. So what I am going to do at this point is grab a vampire clip. We can hook this onto our wire. Now this is going to connect both of the wires. One end's going to be closed off, one end is going to have a channel for the second wire. So once you have both of the wires in there, you can clamp it down with a pair of pliers. Now you can set this lock on the side. Going to keep it closed, and we can repeat that for the negative wire. Now what you could also do is just route the negative wire into any solid ground if you didn't want to go using this wire on the end. Totally up to you. At this point you can just clean up the wiring with a zip tie. You can just hide it behind the inner fender liner. This part kind of just depends on what you want to do with it, but you can clean it up however you'd like. I am going to fold the inner liner back. You can tuck it back into the outer part of the fender here. Put it back up into place. Now that our inner liner is back in place, we can re-secure that Christmas tree clip, and then we can install the two 8mm bolts that we originally removed. After those are installed, we can close up our hood and we'll be all set to go. So that is going to wrap it up for my review and install. Make sure you like and subscribe for more videos and products just like this, and always keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.